What's good? What's good? Y'all ain't heard from me in forever. I've been away. I've been working. I've been doing business. I've been chilling with the family. But you know I gotta give you an honest review on Double or Nothing. Now, people want to know, what did I think about main events and the other previous WWE pay-per-view? I didn't bother. Now, I will be watching Clash of the Castles, so you'll be getting an honest review about Clash of the Clash. As much as I don't really give a goddamn crap about WWE right now, I will be watching that pay-per-view. And does it make a little sense for Brock Lesnar being back going against Open Family? Doesn't make no type of sense whatsoever, but that's WWE for you. Anyway, we ain't here to talk about the E. We're here to talk about AEW's Double or Nothing. One fantastic show. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I want Tony Khan to get this TV stuff correct, because Double or Nothing was watched by so many WWE hardcore fans who are tired of WWE bull jiving, and a whole lot of them. Now you did have your trolls and people that was on bull jive, but you had a lot of them that said, you know what, I'm finally giving Tony Khan and them, you know, the time of day. And I thought, from what I watched, it was a very good show. Ladies and gentlemen, get the TV that how many times do we have to come on here and say this? AEW's bread and butter is their pay-per-views. That is just what they do. They gonna kill it. They gonna go out there, they gonna let you know what we do. It is when it comes to Dynamite and freaking Collision is where Tony Khan and company absolutely sometimes don't know what the clown they doing. What I watched and where we getting ready to head into going into Wednesday night, Tony, you got so much going on. We are on the road to freaking All In, and we got a new AEW pay-per-view just got sprinkled in July 26th. I think it's called AEW's Redemption or something like that. I don't even know what that means, but apparently it's July 26th, 2026. That is the latest AEW edition pay-per-view that just got dropped. So it is what it is on that. Let's go ahead and start. You know I don't give a dang about the pre-show. Mick Foley is officially AEW. He is signed. The part on the pre-show I did care about was Mick Foley had spoke with Darby Allin. And you know the comparisons that they've been making about how Darby Allin won the title on national TV, just like Mick Foley did. They made that. We all know that was just basically Tony Khan trying to take a dib and trying to get foods and not talk about WrestleMania. That's all that was about. Now, a lot of the hardcore fans said that Darby Allin had a successful title run. I'm like, it is what it is. You can say you liked it. You can say you hated it. I've always been in the middle. I said it because I really didn't have a problem with him winning. It's just the whole momentum that was taken from MJF. You understand what I'm saying? But let's talk about it. The run to Double or Nothing. He put his entire body on the line. He really had nothing left to give. So Mick Foley spoke to him and told him, you remind me of a whole lot like myself. Like when I was your age, when I was doing all the crazy stuff and I was putting my body on the line. You are one of the major reasons why I decided to come to this company. And you know what? I'm rooting for you, young man. Go out there and finish the job and make that young man cut his hair. As soon as he said that, MJF came out. MJF confronted him. MJF confronted Mick Foley first. Then Darby came out. Then MJF left. So me watching that, I'm thinking, okay, maybe something crazy is gonna happen in the main event. That's what I was thinking, you know. But no, he just gave him the pep talk and told him to just handle the business. So we get to the first matchup, the I Quit match for the AEW Tag Team titles. Fantastic match. I thought this was great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get this. Tony Khan and company, you want to know why it wasn't really that much blood on the show? Apparently, the New York compilation of the clowns that run things, that allow certain things, said that Tony and company really couldn't have as much blood. That's why we really didn't have that much blood on the show. That's why. So, thanks to the New York compilation fools, that's why we really didn't have that much blood. And I told you, only certain matches called for, which was the Stadium Stampede match and the I Quit match. Those are the two main matches that called for the blood. Those are the two. If you wanted to have blood, those are the two matches you could have did it, because fools was just going completely crazy. They tried everything in their power to destroy and have Adam Copeland and Christian retire. Matter of fact, there was one spot where they had Christian's arm in a doggone brick, about to hit it with a chair, and telling him to say, I quit. This fool gonna say, I banged your mother, and got a chant saying, I banged your mother. Like, listen, Christian Cage is one of the goofiest dudes on the planet. This dude has been, listen, as long as he done came to the company, Christian Cage has done wonders. He has done, this dude is something else. That's all I got to say. So, remember, it's 3-on-2. Stokely Hathaway is just helping his boys, FTR, go out their way to destroy Christian and Cope. Well, Mrs. Cope showed up. Beth Phoenix returns. She comes out there to help him. But Dax and them was basically finna light this girl up on fire. They lit the table on fire, and all I could do was go back to WrestleMania 22 between Adam Copeland's and Mick Foley's match. It's funny how Mick Foley was in the house for that spot that they was finna do. They was finna try to put Beth Phoenix through the doggone flaming table, but they pulled her out the way, and Dax Harwood and Stokely Hathaway went flying through the flaming table. I was like, my goodness, I said it was insane, crazy. So Beth Phoenix went and got that spike jackhammer bat that Adam Copeland be using, and they got it. They put it on Dax and put it in that man's head, and Dax said, I quit. And ladies and gentlemen, they finally did it. And I didn't even know this, ladies and gentlemen. I did not know that Adam Copeland and Christian have not been tag team titles, because remember, you got to remember, I was watching WWE at the time, WWF from 98 to 2000 and maybe the earlier part of 2001, but I disappeared. So it's crazy. And the reason why I disappeared is because at the time we wasn't allowed to watch because it was just too much blood. Now I'm talking about the Attitude Era. So I missed everything post WrestleMania 17. So everything from WrestleMania 17 on to the Fruity Pebble era, I missed all of that. So I did not know that Adam Copeland and Christian didn't have those tag team titles ever since 2001. 25 years later, they get the titles back. That's crazy. That is insane, ladies and gentlemen. That's freaking insane. That's crazy. I'm like, dog, hey, they got the job done. Fantastic. We got a great opening. Then, the two, listen, let me tell y'all something. Okada and Takeshita, class personified, man. Everybody was like, part one was decent, but they weren't feeling part one. Okada and Takeshita said, we finna destroy each other and we finna take the house down. And the New York crowd loved every moment. The storyteller that was going on, you got Don Callis over there on commentary acting a complete fool. I'm telling you, man, listen. But my man Takeshita got the job done. So, we got the family coming in, looking like they finna beat the brakes off of Takeshita. And a returning Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher is back. So we thinking, so is he turning babyface? Because he got a babyface reaction. And he looking like he was finna side with Takeshita. Only to basically beat the brakes off of him. I said, dang. I said, this is what pro wrestling is about. This is the storytelling that makes you, pro wrestling is designed to make you feel some kind of way. And I was like, dang. I said, Takeshita and the prototype is over. The friendship is over. It's done. I said, dang. I said, wow. I said, man, I said, this is why I love pro wrestling. This here is why I adore pro wrestling. Right here. It's to make you feel some kind of way. This is what it is right here. This is it right here. So then we get the first, I believe it was the first, yes, that's right. Samoa Joe versus Will Ospreay. This is the first matchup of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Right off the jump, Will Ospreay started to beat the bricks off of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe said, oh, heck no, I ain't going out like that. These two beat the snot out of each other. They beat the living dog poop out of each other. They tore each other up. And Samoa Joe looked like he was about to end that boy's neck. And Will Ospreay said, heck, the freaking no, you're not. Will Ospreay handled the business. I guess the training from Moxley is helped, and it's doing wonders. Now, after that matchup, I believe we got the first female match, which was Athena and my girl Mina Sakura. And they killed it. They did a great job. And I was thinking, okay, I think Mina gonna finally get the job done, because Athena just been dominating on Ring of Honor. Nope. Athena's moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Athena is freaking moving on. I said, okay, all right, TK. Athena been stuck in Ring of Honor purgatory. It's been time to finally get her on the main roster. It's been time. So after that matchup, we got the one matchup where really didn't need it. Kyle Fletcher versus Moxley. Now, this was the only time I actually wanted Moxley to win, and Moxley handled the business. But this is, like I said, if I got one complaint, Moxley, Kyle Fletcher, Kyle O'Reilly should have not been on the show. It should have not been on the show. You get this match out of here, we good. Next, we get the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Women's Championship. I thought all four ladies did a fantastic job, but I wish Tony Khan would have re-debuted Britt or somebody. After the matchup, because you got to give Tekla something. You got to. I know my man Ace Ariel can't stand none of the girls in the matchup. He can't stand Tekla. He think Tekla is just some wannabe spider or whatever. But I'm trying to tell you, my girl Tekla got it. Ain't nobody is doing what she's doing. Nobody. Like, that's why I'm like, okay, she needs some real competition. But guess what? Guess who fault that is? Tony Khan. Because all the other girls is just getting bad-handled. All of them. It's like Willow's hurt. So you just had Jamie Hayter. You had the alien girl. You had Sheeta. I'm like, man, everybody, and everybody tried, but Tekla retains. This would have been a perfect time to have a re-debut of somebody coming out, and that would have been your next matchup for my girl Tekla. It would have made the most sense if you ask me. Next, I want to say this is when we got Swerve and my man Bandino. Listen, what can I say? Fellas killed it. They killed it. They killed it. Swerve moving on. You already know where we're going. We're getting Swerve and Ospreay Part 3. It's coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there was a spot of this match where everybody was talking about where Swerve was literally standing on Bandino's shoulders. I'm trying to tell you. Man, I told you, they gonna go out there, they gonna just kill it. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go out there and do what they need to do, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it. Now we get the let's see. I'm gonna say now we get the Stadium Stampede. This matchup was just, I can't even describe how crazy this match was. First of all, shout out to everybody that was involved. Team Ricochet versus Team Jericho. Ricochet squad, all of them was dressed up looking like they about to go play for the Atlanta Braves. And then when we go over here to Jericho's team, you got this dude got everybody out here looking like preachers. I mean, you got the Young Bucks looking like praise and worship members with Jericho. You got Bobby Lashley and Shelton and MVP looking like a bunch of deacons and ushers. Then you got Pastor Kenny Omega and you got youth pastor Jungle Boy. I said, what is going on, man? This is, and they literally went out there wrestling with suits on. It's crazy. It's insane to the membrane how creative and how goofy and how insane they was just doing with this stuff. I mean, Cash just went all over listen, it was just too much goofiness that went down in this match. And I was heavily entertained, ladies and gentlemen. Greatness. But you all know Ricochet had to be the one to get destroyed, and that's exactly what happened. Team Jericho gets the victory with the help of the Hurt Syndicate and the Elite. It was great. I thought, like I said, Ricochet had the family and his squad, Bishop Kong and Tory Lee. Listen, I want to say this. Tory Leon was a huge standout. That boy was beating the brakes off of everybody. Now, my man Mark Davis, old silly behind, decided to quote-unquote get ran over by Jungle Boy driving that doggone bus, which is crazy. But then next thing you know, pops up like nothing happened. I was like, yo, I said, this man should have been done. He just got hit by a bus. What is he doing out here? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is on that. I thought everybody did a great job. And so it's only one final match left. The main event, ladies and gentlemen. It's Darby Allin. He's putting his AEW title on the line. Mr. MJF is putting his hair on the line. Now, watching this and watching everything that transpired, these two tore each other up so bad, and everything they was doing was so in sync. The details of what they were trying to tell about everything they went through and what they would go through to court. And I know people say like this man lost to this man in 2 seconds and 15, like 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but he going out his way for his doggone hair. It's crazy. It's insane. But hey, the fellas did what they did. Now, Darby Allin's a crash test dummy. This fool gonna climb all the way to the top of the sign, on top of the doggone Double or Nothing sign, and jump on top of MJF through the doggone table. It was crazy. It was insane, man. I say, dog, these dudes, they tore each other up. They tore each other. So I'm thinking like, okay, how does MJF get the victory? How does he win? And guess what? Even Darby's cheating. He was kicking him in the nuts, everything. Bryce wasn't paying no attention to nothing and nothing like that. But MJF found the way because that man's body just gave out. He laid everything on the line. It was like, I just can't. I can't do nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, MJF is your 3-time AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And so after all of that, he tried to beat the brakes off him again because Darby was stretching out there and put him on the stretcher. And Kevin Knight's music won. So Kevin Knight, he came running out there. MJF ran off. So Kevin Knight is standing up there. I'm like, man, hold up, what Kevin Knight doing? My boy Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight jumps on top of Darby Allin, ladies and gentlemen. My man Kevin Knight turned heel. I was not expecting that. Shout out to my man Ace, my boy Marquise, my brother. He said that man was eventually gonna turn heel. I was not expecting that to be right then and right there. You want to know who I was thinking was going to go heel? I was thinking it was going to be Speedball Mike Bailey. Kevin Knight, ladies and gentlemen, has turned to the dark side. And he said he don't give a dang. I said, oh, snap. Guess what? Darby has direction. We know what Darby's feud is going to be moving forward. That's what you want. I say cliffhangers, ladies and gentlemen. I say this is why I'm a pro wrestling fan. This right here. I say, Tony, you got so much that you can do for your television show. You're always going to have time for pro wrestling. It's the TV show that gets so many people to tune in to what you're doing. You got a lot of WWE hardcores that watched your product last night or last Sunday, this previous Sunday, and they said they enjoyed it. Get the TV right. Fools want to watch Dynamite. Fools want to watch Collision. Get your TV right. That's all we're asking. Just get your TV right. That's it. What I witnessed right there and how we went off the air, I said that's the big cliffhanger that you want. Nobody was expecting. Nobody. I said, my man Kevin Knight went to the dark side. I said, why, Kevin? Why? Why, Jay? And Speedball dropped the video instantly, him and his wife, Miss Vita Scott. And all he could say was the F word. And I said, man, and I was thinking he was the one that was going to turn heel. When's the night finna be crazy? Tony, you got the stories right there. You got the freaking stories right there. Just run with it. And you know how everybody be complaining about the show being long. Guess what? If the show is good, we're not even going to be complaining about how long it is. I know my man Ace fell asleep, but let me tell you something. I still would cut the pre-show. I'm not doing all them stupid man matches on the pre-show. Like I said, you keep the show pre-shows an hour, but I'm not putting all the matches on there. And then I'm taking away Moxley and Colorado. I'm taking that crap away. That's going in the trash can. I'm putting that in the trash. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I walked away very pleased. I said, TK, it's about the television now. Your bread and butter is the pay-per-views. I lost count how many times I've seen reviews and everybody is saying the same exact thing as I'm saying. They love the show. Everybody. Now, let's get your TV right. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 out of 10. You know how I grade. I don't give 10s. As much as I would love to give 10s, I don't give 10s. 9 out of 10. Great show. Everybody's saying this is possibly AEW's best show of 2026. Possibly. Tony Khan, you're the mastermind when it comes to pay-per-views. Let's get that television right. Y'all already know what to do. If you're new to the channel, hit that comment section. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I'll holler at y'all cats later.